My name was Tommy Hammond. I'm retired from the Gadsden Police Department after 27 years of service. I just really enjoyed getting out and riding in the neighborhood and mostly meeting people and getting out and talking with them. Ruth and I actually go back to childhood. Her brother and I were friends. And of course, I knew who Ruth was, but she was my buddy's sister, you know. After the years had gone by, she was working in the court office. She was a court magistrate. And we started talking and got reacquainted, and she was bowling on a bowling league for law enforcement bowling league and invited me to join the league. And from there on, it just kind of just grew, and we finally decided, okay, it's time for us to get married.
My mom and Tommy started out after my dad passed away from cancer, and she met up with Tommy, and they started kind of hanging out as friends, and then what was once as friends turned into a little bit more than friends, and their friendship became marriage, and I developed a new stepdad, and he was a wonderful person, best thing that God ever put in my life in place of my dad.
On Sunday morning, we were at church, and Ruth had went to the restroom, and she came back. Kayla was sitting there with us.
She had came out and she pointed. She said, "Look at this knot on my neck," and I looked, and I guess just had that overwhelming sick feeling. I mean, I knew something wasn't right. So I made some phone calls that next morning, and we got her into the doctor.
He did a biopsy and came back cancer.
There was malignancy, and that it had metastasized, and it was in several other organs.
She was so calm with it. She handled it far better than any of us did.
We started immediately, of course, doing chemotherapy and radiation. And if you're familiar with chemo and radiation, you know it's going to knock your blood counts down, and you're going to get weak, and your immunity system declines. We had had several rounds that we had to get IV fluids, and she had gotten very weak.
Finally reached a stage that Dr. Ladawada told her, "There's no need coming back to me. Go home and enjoy and take care of the time you have."
We contacted Alacare Home Health and Hospice, and they came out and was more than willing to help us.
They were coming in, showing us what to do, how to do, that made things a lot easier for us.
None of us was really sure exactly what hospice meant. The vision I had of it was that they would come in and they would give you medicine and they would watch you die. And that's not what it was about.
I was absolutely amazed. They come in and they do things, they took care of her medicines. Everything. They were just a godsend. They were here to make things more comfortable for Ruth and for the family, and explain to us what to expect. They were just couldn't ask for a better group of people. They were unbelievable.
When we started with hospice, of course, we're very protective of our own family, of our mom, of our kids, of anybody stepping in your close area of people, your family. And it's hard just to step back because you wanted every second that you could spend with your loved one before their time was up. And at some point you just wear down and you have to have a moment. And with Alacare Hospice there, we had that moment. They stepped in, they were family. They made us feel loved. They made us feel like that we could relax, that they would be there for us.
Whatever she needed, they would come in and take care of it. They would sit down and talk with us, just like a friend or part of the family. They just fit in so well.
Mom had several goals, but two that stood out. One was my mom and Tommy's 10th anniversary, and her other goal was to watch Jared, my son, her first grandbaby, graduate from high school.
With Alacare Hospice coming in, it just made her goals easier, and they worked with her, to reach those goals, especially when Jared graduation. Hospice made sure that she was able to go, and she was there on the sidelines there on the field. That was a very touching time, and Alacare Hospice had a lot to do with that.
Well, unfortunately, I've lost both of my parents to cancer. My dad in 1991 passed away, and when we were going through this with him, I was not aware or familiar with hospice. The things that we went through was so totally different from my dad when he passed away versus what my mom had when she passed away and had hospice on our side. It was just incredible, the experience that we had with knowing how much they really, really cared, and they loved my mom. My mom was easy to love, but they showed her love, and that was something she really, really needed at this time.
As the time got nearer, the hospice nurses spent more time, and they would keep us up to date, what was going on, even down to when we could expect things to happen, and made sure that we were prepared.
Even afterwards, they were there. They made every phone call that needed to be made. They contacted, the pastors, the people to come and pick my mom up. They contacted, everybody from Alacare all the way down to people that we needed them to contact. Getting the equipment and stuff taken away where it was, a lot less burden on us to have to come back in and see everything all over again.
They took care of all of that, and just took all that burden off of the family. Alacare Hospice was phenomenal. I cannot ever say enough for them.
The chaplain, as well as the social workers, made many contacts with us, even after my mom had passed, like the first week, the first month, like specified anniversaries. They made a special attempt, not just to call, but they sent cards and letters, just letting us know they were still here, and that although she was gone, they were still very much a part of our life and was there if we needed anything.
We honestly believe that Alacare Hospice helped Ruth to live longer, to reach the goals that she had. Alacare Hospice nurses, they are special. I don't think anybody could just say, okay, I'm going to start doing this. I think it's something that's in their heart, to be able to be that close to a family. And I'm sure that they feel like they've just lost, family member as close as they were. So, they're very special.
Losing somebody is the worst thing, but letting somebody go when you know they were ready and you know where they were going will give any family peace of mind. And having people there to back you and support you and call you with letters of comfort, it's just a peace knowing that you've lost them, but you will see them again.